What up? Welcome back to episode
10.
Can you say that with some
10?
There you go. Say it with your chest. Welcome back to episode 10 of the No Stopping Kev show. It's your beefer duo. We back at it again. My levels, I feel like I'm turned up. You know, it's a little long day, but now I'm amped up now that we rolling.
Well, I'm kind of amped up. I got my shirt on today. I finally got my shirt.
Yeah, y'all here stunting.
Yeah.
But trying to think. Oh man, we had somebody trolling us on YouTube over the weekend. My man was out here. He was out here wilding, but it's above us now.
So he was hating, huh?
Yeah, you know it's always going. If you don't have haters out there, you gotta ask yourself, am I doing this right?
That's right. That's true.
Just like on the court.
Yeah.
But thank y'all for, everybody that do show love and support us. Favor, quickly. We gonna call a 30-second timeout, I need y'all to, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, scroll down, click the 5-star. Yes, the 5, not 4. Click the 5-star. There you go, and leave a comment. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give you a second, just because I know you're too lazy to hit pause. All right, cool. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and also share our show with a friend today. So let's get right into it. So, Pops, we talking about confidence today. You feeling confident in what you about to spit on this show?
Yeah, you could say I feel confidence about that. I think, I enjoy this. See, like me, it just come from confidence of just loving to do something. And when you love to do it, see, like I always got to say, what I learned, it got to be love. When you got love, you got total confidence.
So, where'd you get your, because based on what I hear about your game back in the day, I have reason to believe you be a pretty confident dude. Like, I feel like you probably is the dude that walk into the gym like, yeah, I'm about to go off for 40. So where'd your confidence come from?
No, I used to want to get 40, but it wasn't that easy to get 40. And I remember when you used to say, you get 10 points a quarter. But, like the confidence was, I love to play basketball. I love to be competitive. That's what I love to do. And like, like I didn't think that I was confident. I just loved doing what I was doing. So I didn't think about like really being confident. I just loved playing basketball.
Yeah, and I think we probably both share this in that we're always nervous before games. Like I'm nervous before rec league games. But some old head at the golf course one time told me if you're not nervous, that means you don't care enough. So I just look at it that way, and I think even though I was like kind of nervous, I don't think that like I ever was not confident. I think it was more so like just my mind going on what can possibly happen during this game. I always think about the worst things that can possibly happen because there's just me. But I think I'm always kind of confident on my abilities because I'm real with myself. Like I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. So that helps. I think that helps a lot.
For me, like, what, when you said, like, I could be nervous before the game, but once the ball was in the air and I was in the game, I forgot about being nervous.
Were you the man starting from your freshman year in high school?
But, no, I wasn't.
Oh.
No, I wasn't a man.
Oh. Welcome to average. No, I'm playing.
No, you know what? I probably was. Well, see, I didn't even play varsity in the 10th grade. My coach made me play JV so I could build up some confidence.
Oh yeah, because high school was different back then, right?
Right.
9th grade was junior high.
Yeah.
This was back in the 40s.
Well, even my sophomore year.
This was back in the 40s.
Well,
1910.
The 30s, man. The 30s. No, we all know it was in the 70s. But my coach in high school said I was good enough to play varsity. But he wouldn't have been able to give me the time that he wanted to give me the time. So he said, well, go down and play JV one year. and get your confidence up. And that's what he said. And, you know.
I always think about, so at my high school, we had like people with eligibility issues. And so we kind of had a situation where JV guys would have to play varsity. So we would have a decent number of guys, right? So assistant coach Antoine, right? He didn't quite like it all the time, and I remember one game where he had to kind of be our head coach. He had to fill in one day, and I ain't play. So I was hot. I went back, told our AD like, yo, I'm only let me suit up for JV the rest of the year because I ain't going to these games not to play when I could have just.
Right.
Because in my mind, I was like, yo, had I gone to the JV game, I would have played the full 32. But, Twine later told me, I thought I was ready because I was getting minutes, but it's because the opportunity came. I wasn't really ready. I didn't develop and mature to that point yet. And that's something I didn't realize back then. But, looking back, I'm like, yo, he's completely right. I wonder how much further I potentially could have gone had I had, maybe 2 years of playing JV and then, really being a varsity point guard maybe my junior year. But no regrets. Happy. Had fun my high school basketball career. But, I think that even starting from day one in my high school career is when I think my confidence started. It's an up and down road, right? Because depending on what experiences you have, it can either be shaken or strengthened. But I remember first game, exhibition game against Cardinal Doherty. That's where Catino Mobley went. Kyle Lowry might have gone there too. I got to double check. But I know they got at least one NBA guy that's gone to the high school. And I remember the banner was up, Big Jim, and it was a JV varsity doubleheader, but we had a lot of varsity guys ineligible. So we had 3 freshmen on the bench.
So y'all played like back-to-back games?
I didn't play the 3 freshmen, me, Earl, and Steve. We didn't play in the JV game.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Because we were the only subs, and I remember. One, it was kind of cool because I'm like, wow, I thought I wasn't even going to make JV going back to tryouts, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm always, again, it goes back to my mindset, like, what's the worst case scenario? So I thought, like, I don't even know if I did well enough in tryouts to make it because I remember I missed, like, a layup on a transition, in transition. So I thought that was the end of everything. Made the team kind of, you go through the first couple of weeks of practice and, like, for the most part, playing against JV guys, got out there with the varsity guys a few times, and they just outright abuse you. Like, you go to pull up for a jump shot, and they just snatch the ball out your hand, and it's like, what's going on? But, yeah, so we come out there. First of all, we go to come out the tunnel, right? And my shooting shirt on backwards. So, of course, all the older guys started roasting me for that, right? Because they're like, oh, you nervous? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not nervous. But I remember I got in the game, got it in the first half, and I thought it was no way I was going to touch the ball, right? It was just like, it's no way these guys are actually going to give me the ball. And I remember our senior point guard came down, first pass, ripped it to me, right? And, like, I don't even know how I caught this ball. Like, it was like, when you actually go from practice to game action, like, the pace is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I don't, like, the ball could have, like, I felt like when it hit my body, my whole body moved, like, right? And I kind of hot-potatoed it because I just wasn't ready. So I just got it right back out my hands to him. But in that moment, I was like, yo, he actually trusts me. The fact that our senior guard gave me, like, even let me touch the ball because I thought there was no way it was going to happen. That did a lot for me. And then I think the next trip down, he swung it to me. I fired up the 3. I knocked it down. So that just, like, helped me a lot. And that was how I started off my high school career. Yeah. So going, the rest of the way, I was like, all right, these guys, for some reason, they got some type of trust in me. And, looking back, I think that just came from me working hard from day one. They respect that. That's what older guys like to see.
Well, what about when you used to practice against them?
I told you, I felt like I was getting destroyed. But, I think, one thing about our senior guard that year, Wang Ye, shout out to him, was I always wanted to kind of chase and be like him. Because he was our guy. He held the record his senior year for most points scored in a season. He had the record for most points scored in like school history at the time. So he was a pretty big deal. I remember we would run 17s. He would win every time. So I would always chase him and try to beat him. Because I knew if I was following in his footsteps, I'd be on the right track, right?
Yeah, but you want to beat his footsteps.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. At that time, I was 14, he was 18. Two completely different. You got that freshman, senior, but I knew I was following in the right footsteps. And so I think that helped gain a lot of respect there.
It was funny because I remember when, like I told you, I was the last one, made it to the last cut, that year. Then my coach came to me and the varsity coach came and told me the reason he wouldn't send me to JV. But the fun thing was when we used to scrimmage varsity, I used to kill him. I used to kill him. I remember one time that I was killing him so bad, and you know how the net get caught on the rim, and they said, "No, don't knock it down. Let it sit there like that for the whole weekend." So when we came back Monday, it was still there, and I just remember that. Like I said, I just went out and really just played. I could have played, but the starting guard on varsity that year was a 3-year starter. He started all 3 years there, so it wasn't like I was going to be able to take his spot. Now, I probably would have had to been super good or something super like that, but, I was only a young guy myself. But
do you think you could have taken it? Because he was cooking them in practice.
Yeah, I would cook, but you know what? He still had, I guess what we always say, some experience out there. Mm-hmm. I didn't have it there. And you know what? And it probably did give me more confidence playing against them, and and doing what I did in practice against them.
Yeah, because it lets you know you can play at that level.
Right. It's
like, all right, even if I gotta wait, because you think about it too. It's like guys like that, they kind of paid their debt to the program, if you will.
Right, yeah.
They put the time in, so they kind of are deserving. If he's a good guy all around, but like you said, it probably did a lot for your development and for your confidence, getting the preparation. And I think that's one key to being confident is preparation.
But another thing is, I think sometimes I might have held back. I'm gonna say, when I went to, but it's not really holding back. It's like paying your dues or something like that. Because I remember when I went to college, and when I was in college, and actually it was my roommate, and the coach made sure this was my roommate, and this guy he got drafted by Detroit, but he wound up going overseas and playing his whole life overseas. When we went to my Hall of Fame induction, he got inducted the year before me, and he had just came back because they finally got a chance for him to come back. But this guy could score 40 points on you, with nothing. I mean, why he really didn't make the NBA, he couldn't really dribble the ball, and his size was for a guard. But I mean, he's one of the best players that I ever seen. Sometimes you will talk about, and we'll talk about how good Louis Lloyd was. This guy didn't have all that Lou had, but he was right there. And but he chose when he couldn't handle. He went overseas and made a life overseas playing ball. But when I got on the team, I remember my coach saying, because I had all this build-up, about coming in, and my coach would say, we got to see how he performed in game situation under a game. In our first tournament and stuff, I did real good.
Did you know they were thinking like that before you took the court in that first tournament?
Did I know what they're thinking what?
We got to see if he performed and all that.
No, but yeah, because he put that all in. He said that early.
Oh, so
he said he got all the tools
going into it.
Yeah, but like I said, it wasn't no pressure to me because I love playing basketball.
So you was confident you was gonna go out there and just be able to do your thing.
It's just about going out there and playing your game.
Yeah, I guess that's something you always said too, which I think kind of might even help me as I got older, because I look at kids now and I see a lot of guys who they think they're better than what they are, right? Instead of being real with yourself. And so I think back to my time in high school, and I got to play alongside some talented guys, and particularly senior year. I was the captain, right? So I was starting since my sophomore year, so I could definitely play. I had talent. Definitely was a better practice player than game player, but we had two guys that I said Jameer and Reese could go off for 25 a night, right?
Right.
So I didn't really need to score. Like, that wasn't my role, but I was confident in knowing what I can do. I knew, I would get my game in, as you always said. So I was like, okay, I don't need to be this, right? Which is fine.
Right.
I was confident in being who I was and who the team needed me to be, which was a facilitator, a guy to get us going on defense, a guy to disrupt the other team's system and what they were trying to do on offense by pressuring the ball full court, and just kind of being the leader. But I think a lot of times people aren't always confident or real with what they can do, which leads to other problems.
Well, yeah, it will be, like thinking you are, like, and then, like, I guess that's being overconfidence in a sense. Sometimes you could be overconfidence or something like that. No, I just try to just be level-headed and just go out and do what I can do. Just like in life, I try to do what I can do and not put too much pressure and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, sometimes I think I put pressure on myself to keep me going.
Well, you know what? Some people have to have that.
Yeah, some people are motivated differently.
Right. Some people need that. Whatever makes you go, that you gotta go. But see, like, sometimes for me, it could be dangerous. My thinking could be dangerous because, until I really got clean and until I really started looking at things positive and trying to be more positive and look at things positive. See, that negativity kind of sometimes held me back. Even talking about, like, basketball, it was a gift that I had to play, but I didn't work at it. I didn't give it the time and everything that I needed to give. I could say, and see, that's why sometimes when I really say about loving and all like that, yeah, I probably knew that when I went out there and played basketball, I might have knew that I'm going to have a good game, or I could feel I'm going to have a good game. I could be confident that I'm going to have a good game. But, I never thought about it. I just played. But on the other hand, sometimes, like, I could think, oh, man, I ain't gonna do this so much, or I'm only gonna do this, and it don't matter because I didn't want to. So when I didn't have a good game, I could say, "Oh man, I already knew that," So it could hurt me.
Take the cop out.
Yeah, take the cop out. Yeah, take the cop out.
You said something earlier about kind of being level-headed, and I think it's a different journey for different instances.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes I think to be confident in something, there needs to be some level of preparation, right? And so if you're not confident, you probably didn't prepare as much. You're just not ready for it, right?
Right. But you know what? I want to say? Let your actions show your confidence. Mm-hmm. Not your mouth. Because anybody could say what you want to say out of your mouth, but your actions gotta match it. Like, I know some players, like what, I used to know Sadell, and Sadell 3, who played with the Sixers, played with all of them. Like when we would get together and we would talk, he was like really confident, and like he was like a different. It was a different level than me, but that was him, and But his action, he did back it up.
Remember what you used to tell me about talking about how good I was?
Yeah.
What was it?
I tell you, let your game do the talking.
Yeah. I never was much of a talker, though.
Let other people tell you how you doing or stuff like that, Then if somebody come and tell you this, and quite a few people were saying it, it's just like, you might have think that you had an all right game. But when everybody say, "Oh man, you had a good game today," and so these people, they ain't got to come to you and lie to you. Mm-hmm. So you know what? Now you might say, "Well, wow, well maybe I didn't do but so bad,"
Yeah, it's that's real, and like I never was much of a talker anyway.
Yeah.
So that was something that was pretty easy to do. But it's funny because now all my guys that I coach, they think I'm this. Sometimes they think I was this big trash talker because I talk a lot of trash to them just because, I'm out there having fun trying to, I try to push their buttons and, put them in situations that's going to make them uncomfortable. I try to get a reaction out of them just so that the first time they encounter that isn't when we're in a game and they're out there on the floor with somebody else where it really matters. So I use it as a teaching standpoint. But then I got to tell them, like, no, I never used to talk trash. I only do that with y'all. And here's why.
Well, you remember, I don't know if you remember, but I used to talk some trash to you when you would be playing, just to make you mad sometimes.
I feel like I was tearing up one time. I feel like you made me cry before.
I used to do that just to, like, sometimes to make you just more, because, like, one thing is, I wasn't going to let you beat me. Like, when you was able to beat me, you earned it. You had to earn it.
Yeah, I kick your butt now.
You still ain't gonna kick my butt.
Yo, Dad, we can go play to 11 right now. You lucky if you get 2.
You gotta know better than that. You know what? I don't even know why you even let something like that come out of your mouth.
First of all, who getting ball first?
Huh?
First of all, who getting ball first?
When we played before, did you miss?
All right, so let's just say you get the ball first, right?
If I get the ball first, where you going? Where I'm gonna take you?
You going down? You gonna try to go inside?
Okay. Then.
We playing unlimited dribbles?
Huh?
You playing? I'm gonna wear you out. I'm a physical guy.
You know where you're going, so don't say I'm only going to score.
You good? You good for like 2 down there? You gonna get your 2? You gonna get your 2 early, and then you gonna go down there trying to do that. Get to your little spot on the left block. Go to your little 2-handed jump leaner. But you going to miss that third one, and I get that board, it's going to be off to the races, buddy. No timeouts. You just going to try to send me left, and I'm going to keep taking that thing like, mailman.
Well, I guess we're going to have to do this.
Yeah, we're going to have to record this, man.
Yeah. You got some of it already. You can go back and look at the films already.
Oh, yeah. You don't want me to expose you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yo, you want to know another story, though, about that I always think about when it comes to confidence, and this is where I was going when I was saying kind of being level-headed. But one thing when you're level-headed is guys who are kind of above you, they're more likely to try to work with you and instill things in you. I had a teammate who was, many would say he's pretty arrogant when it came to basketball, and you would see it. Like in some instances it was good, right? Because he was going right at the older guys on the court, kind of like how he used to do, but. When it kind of comes off beyond like ability on the court to the point where it's kind of like you're not getting along with people that are your teammates, it can be bad, right? To the point where we had some scraps between some guys, but one thing that I think helped me is just coming in there working hard. I had those older guys kind of pour into me, right? And like I said before, when you got the leaders of the team on your side, that helps your confidence a lot too. So, just kind of doing the right things. But one story in particular, going back to sophomore year. So, you remember I told you, like our opening night of sophomore year was when Coach told me to grow up here, right? So, that season was a very up and down season for me. Probably the most up and downs I've had in, trying to think, probably any season in high school. But yeah, so it was like end of the season, maybe like the second of the last week, and my boy Eric, who kind of became my mentor like day one. Right. We used to, our lockers, he was a junior, I was a freshman. Our lockers were kind of across from each other on opposite sides of the hallway, and we would always have snacks. So you're in school all day, you gotta have some snacks because you're hungry before practice, and so. He used to always have like Ritz crackers, and I brought my lunch, so I always had stuff too. But if one of us was ever short, it was like the first time I might have asked him for something, he gave it to me, so I knew I had to return it. But we just became a brotherhood to the point where it's like, yo, some days you just offer, like, you need something today. So that was my old head. But Eric has the record for most points in a game and most points, I think, in a single season.
At your school?
Yeah, or at least he did while he was playing. I don't know if Jalen the kid that's going to Arcadia next year that I coach, had broken it. But at the time, Eric had the record with like 426 points in the season. And on this particular night, Eric set the record for most points in a game with 43, right? So he was going off. He was hitting everything. But one play in particular, it was in the first half. He came down, swung the ball to me, and I was wide open. I passed it back to him. He shot the deep three, nothing but net. I was like, cool. And walking, on our way back down the other end of the court, he was like, yo, I need you to shoot that. Like, you got to shoot that, right? Yeah. And I was like, damn, all right. I guess I better shoot that next one. But the reason I passed it up is because I was struggling shooting that whole first half. Like, and I was, talking about being in a slump. I felt like that whole season I was in a slump. And, after he told me that next trip down, he swung me the ball, same shot, and I hit it, right? But had we not...
That gave you confidence?
Because he said something to me. Because the moment he said, I need you to shoot that, again, it was our guy, it was our captain, the person I looked up to being like, yo, I need, you got to do this. Like, we got no shot if you're not going to play your game. And so that helped me a lot. Why you laughing?
I laughed because I wondered if I'd have said something like that.
Oh, no, you'd have been like, yo, keep swinging that back. You a jack, man.
No.
You a jack.
That's funny, though. I wonder if I would have said that, though.
Probably not.
I don't know. But I would have gave it to him.
You would have never told somebody to not take a shot if it was going to end up in you taking the shot.
I got a story like that, too. We was in our conference championship in college, and like I had 39 points in the game, and like I got this fast break layup, and there's a guy behind me want the ball, like he wanted to get a dunk. He never had a dunk in the game, and I gave it to him, and everybody was saying, man, you could have had 41 and 41 like that. Like, I didn't know I had 39. Mm-hmm. Now, would I kept the lead? I don't know, but I know. The thing was, like, we won and I had 39, so it didn't matter. Really didn't matter. But I don't know, would I kept it? Like,
you definitely would have kept it.
I can't say that.
We can rewind this episode and just go back to you saying, like, yeah, I used to try to get 40 every night, just 10 points a quarter, 5 field goals a quarter. You would have gone. But, I already
had a good night, man. It was a championship night in the conference championship. We were playing at the Civic Center, jam-packed. And, like, whether I had 39 or 41, it still wouldn't have made a difference because, like, the game that I had on the floor and everything was superb.
Come on, James Harden, stat chaser. I
ain't never chased stats.
We already know. So this is what I'm going to say. This is my hypothesis, right? If we were to venture into a parallel universe, you would have kept that ball. You probably would have even been so excited you would have dunked it with 2 hands, might have even done a 360 windmill. But here's why I know you would have kept it. I'm going to say it again. You always wanted to go out to get 40. 41 is a lot better than 39. So you would have kept it. It's all good. It's all good. Just
that wouldn't have been a winning shot.
No, it wouldn't have.
All right, then. So what difference would it really make?
All right, I'm not going to
go. For me to say I had 41?
I'm not going to keep going.
I had over 41 before in the game.
Yeah, I know, but 40 is a good milestone. I'm not going to go back and forth because people don't need to see what these debates get like off air. Because I'm going to have to put the pause on you. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, we know that.
Yo, any areas off the court where you ever struggle with confidence? Because I know I got a bunch.
Off the court.
Mm-hmm. Let me know if you need me to go.
No, you go ahead. You can go ahead.
Why you always want me to go first?
Because you're junior.
It rolls down the hill.
Yeah.
You going with that saying today?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you remember when I got my spot back here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so y'all, if y'all watching, right, when I was little, my dad, like, swung me like this from my ankles. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, because I'm trying to learn this myself.
No. Now, one time we was playing outside, and I hit my head on a step, and so I got a little scar back there, right? That happened the summer going into 5th grade, maybe? We were upstairs, yes, I want to say 5th grade. So I get back to school, and of course, what do kids do?
Teaching.
Yeah, like, why kids so cruel, man? Why can't kids just spread love? I always gotta roast people. So a lot of kids were talking about it, right? Like, oh, he got a patch, or like, just different stuff. And that would bother me so much so that it would kind of, it's like stress, kind of like trauma, and kind of makes you insecure, right?
Right.
And a lot of times, anything when your confidence is weak in something, you become a bit insecure. And it definitely was something that I became very self-conscious about. But I think that what kind of helped me get over it was just that I started focusing on the positives, right? So I knew I was a great student. So I was like, all my hair could fall out, but I would still have the highest test grade in the class, right? And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or not, but, it kind of became a little bit of, like, my way of protecting myself. Like, I never threw that in someone's face, right? But when they would mess with me, that was just something I would think about in the back of my mind, and that kind of helped me. And so, like, I shared that just because, even now, it's like if I'm struggling with, I don't know, like, all right, I'm in my position at work now, right? It's like I'm still trying to learn. I'm in a good spot. But I recognize that there's still some things I want to do to prove to myself, right, that, I'm going to be successful in this role. And so there's times where I can, same thing, it's like, is this for me? Am I going to do well? You start to question things, right? It's a little bit of doubt. But then it's like, okay, think about the positives. And now I'm starting to see it. So one thing in my job is about production, right? I got to, find new loans for the company. To put on our balance sheet so that, ultimately we can make money from lending, right?
Right.
Being new to my role, that's something that kind of takes time. You got to build relationships with different businesses, different people that can refer you, people that are in need of financing. But now I'm starting to get looks, right, at different things, different opportunities. And I always go to, like, one of my mentors at work, right? So kind of like that Eric, that Wanye that I had in high school basketball. I'm going to these guys now in my office, and I'm like, yo, here's what I'm thinking. This is what I'm seeing with this. Just picking their brains. And, what I'm finding is a lot of times I'm on the right track. So it's like, okay, I got the knowledge. It's there, right? I might not know everything, but I know I got a decent baseline. And then they'll help take it to the next level. They'll be like, oh, well, make sure you think about this or ask about this. And that's something that's really helping me build my confidence at work. Because, being new, you can be a little bit uncomfortable, not completely confident in abilities and, question things. But, I'm getting there. It's a journey.
Well, you know what? I feel that way in jobs sometimes, too, when I first go to a job. Mm-hmm. But it's just like when I told you, when I first played basketball on a team, and you had people that's stars already. You don't want to come try to take over or let them think that you take over. So sometimes you I guess I could say hesitant, mm-hmm. and like I could find my way like that. Like if I feel anything that I don't have confidence sometime in getting a job, not really. See, once I get a job, I have no problem. When I get to working and showing who I am, I have no problem. But sometimes, filling an application and thinking that they're going to call me back and they don't call me back, I don't have a lot of confidence in that kind of situation. And like you said, sometimes, like going to like a job or something and just going right out and doing things and thinking that I know all this, I guess I hold back to try to learn some things. Mm-hmm. And some things sometimes you already know what to do, but mm-hmm. you still might be hesitant.
Yeah, you need that reassurance sometimes, just to kind of, push you off the nest so you can fly on your own a little bit.
And like I said, for me, sometimes I don't have a problem with being wrong, but I don't want to go out there and act like I know everything and be wrong. Right. So I try to just hold back and try to play and then like learn to then once I definitely know, now I know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's something that like that.
Yeah, it's definitely Otherwise, you just look like a fool. And
Yeah, I ain't trying.
We've all come across those people that act like they know everything. Then it's like, nah.
That's like the player, like the basketball player that you say he all that good, and then when you get out on the court, you stink it up.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So,
man, I'll tell you one thing. I mean, you got to deal with that situation, and sometimes you just got to show a kid. They're getting mad at you. They want to catch an attitude in the game or in practice, and it's like, okay, so you know how to run wheel, right? They're like, yeah, I know how to run it. Then you put them out there, and like either they just don't move or they just start running around the court. Literally, like when I was a kid, I didn't understand the expression "the chicken with the head cut off" until I started coaching basketball, and you start to see it, and it's just like, go get them. You just grab anybody off the bench at that point because just like something takes over your body where I'm literally about to freak out and run on the court, take them off myself like mid play. Man. If I ever saw that would be hilarious.
Well, you know what? I already done seen coaches do like that. I already seen it.
Man. But yeah, so it's like, I guess I got a question for you, and I'm gonna make you answer this first. Let's say you coaching, right, and you got a player that is struggling with his confidence. What you gonna say to him?
Well, I'm gonna try to motivate. I'm gonna try to give him confidence. I'm gonna try to talk to him. I'm gonna try, like the biggest thing. I'm gonna try to, what? I'm gonna take what positive that he do, and I'm gonna try to drill that in him to let him know that you are a help and you are doing something. So, like, I'm not gonna get on him for what he can't do. I'm gonna try to give him confidence in what he's doing and hope that he build on some of the things and do what he's strong at.
Yeah, that's real. And so that kind of makes me think back to a couple guys that I've coached in the last 3 years, because I know what it's like to be that player struggling with your confidence, and I can kind of look at a guy and see it, right? Because I've been there. Like, the face just looks unsure, but the kid got talent, and as a coach, it's my job to put that person in a position to be successful, right? Because sometimes you're just out of position. Like, I go back to when I was a sophomore, right, in high school. That was the first time I really had to play the wing, right? My whole life I had played the point. I was on the ball, really creating, but now I was on the wing having to play off of someone else. And like freshman year, I did a little bit in varsity games, just because, but I knew my role, right? I was coming off the bench. Right. We had like a senior guard and 2 junior guards ahead of me. So I was already expecting that. Sophomore year, I was starting, but I was starting at the 2. I had never done that before at all, right? So I go from starting all my life at the 1 to, kind of playing half the season starting at the 1 on JV, half the season coming off the bench, kind of being a wingman, to starting at the 2. And that was a huge difference, which is something I didn't think about. So now when I'm coaching, I got to consider I might be putting a kid in a position he's never had to play. So, I look at guys that are, in that state, and I'm just like you said, it's like, yo, this is what you do very well. And this is why I kind of like pitting you at this spot. This is how I think you can help us. Like, I'm not going to put you out there and you suck. Like, if you didn't have any skill, you trust me, you would be sitting over here next to me.
That's like the story I told earlier. Like in the episode when I told you when I was in college and I was going through the slump. And it wasn't so much the slump, I was fighting my coach. But my coach, to anybody else, it looked like I'm in a slump. I'm just playing. But my coach kept me, put me in the game. Like, he might be yanking me out. Like, he was yanking me out and put me back in. But I remember the one game when I decided to stop fighting him and do that, and he said to me, I knew you were going to make it. That's all stand out to me today. And he knew that I was going to come out, that he had confidence in me. And that's the confidence that him kept putting me on that court, not sit me on the bench and not use me no more. Every game he still started me, and I had like a few games he still started me. And then I realized through another coach that coached the girls team that like the coach wasn't going to give up on me. It's just like some players could come there, they wasn't going to be able to take my spot, because he had confidence in me and what I could do.
Yeah, and I guess. So I guess something. I guess we both agree. You tell that guy like, hey, listen, this is where I think you can help us. Like, I believe in you. I think sometimes that's all a person needs because they got that doubt, right? They sometimes to build confidence, you need that reassurance. Or if you have confidence in someone, you gotta let them know. You basically gotta put the confidence you have in them in themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right. See, the worst thing is if he already. Sometimes like me being a recovering addict or me being like that. Like I'm already gonna beat myself up. I don't really need you to beat me up no better. So like for me, I don't need to beat this guy up because he's having
himself, right.
He having a bad day. He know he having a bad day. So I don't need to add more onto his badness and like that. I need to try to pump him up, to let him know, man. Like like my coach, I remember he used to say to us, like we as a team, we might have a bad day, a bad game, and he said, you know what, this is over. Tomorrow's a new day. It's a new start. And like, you know what, that's what we always got to remember, that tomorrow is a new day. Yesterday is history. Like, all right, we had a bad game, but now we can't worry about having that bad game. We got to go out there and get this game.
Right.
You had a bad day. You can't worry about that bad day. Let's learn from that bad day and try to improve. But let's not beat yourself up and stay in the past.
I'm glad you made a great point there. And like one reason why I always like Coach Dev is because I felt like he was good at reading people. He realized, or it was the first time I realized that, people respond to things differently. And that was something he was very good at. And so even, kind of coaching with him, sometimes we play good cop, bad cop. But one thing I like about, kind of the knowledge and experience that I've had kind of, playing and coaching under him is I watch other coaches, right? So like you said, you'll have a guy that's a player that's already beating himself up. And then you got the coach, like, going in on him, right? And then you just see them start to crumble. Whereas sometimes you need to take a different approach and realize, like, hey, that's not the best option. So, like, I know for me, when I see my guys start to get frustrated, and, like, I think I talked about this in the last episode or 2 episodes ago when I talked about my player that kind of tried to show me up, right? When I see them shutting down and, kind of beating themselves up, I try to reassure them. It's like, hey, like, you're all right. Next play. Like, forget about that. Like, it's cool. Like, talk to me about what you're seeing out there. Let's try to figure out a solution together, right? It's like you're not on your own in this. You got support. That's why I'm here. So let's get through this thing together. And sometimes that's all they need. But they think you hate them now. They think they're about to get pulled. They're worrying about all this extra stuff. Sometimes they just need to clear their mind so they can get back to being themselves.
But see, you said a good point too. You gotta read that person. You gotta know what person you could come down on and what person you can't. You gotta know some person you might can really get on and that'll pump them up. Now another person, like, if you gotta have different roles for different people. You gotta act the same or be the same. But like what I'm saying is, one person you could get on and that can motivate him. One person you could get on and that's going to take him down.
And I think sometimes, like, some coaches don't know how to do anything but yell.
Right.
When it's like why are you yelling at him? Are you yelling at him because he like doesn't know the play? Is he just blowing assignments? Is the kid just struggling with something? So I'm not gonna yell at a kid that's out there struggling and like I can see something's mentally off. I'm gonna yell at a guy that I know can take it, or if a guy's just completely disengaged, or like if something's completely off. But if I see they're having an internal struggle, especially with themselves, that's not the time to yell at them, because right now their confidence is so low. You'll see it, and a lot of times if you got a guy out there, he belongs out there.
Yeah, like, but you know what? To really yell at a player, I don't really want to really just yell at a player. If anything, I want to yell at the referee. I'm trying to.
You got to take it out on them.
Yeah, I'm trying to take it, because, like I'm saying, like, and that's it's a player that need that. Now that's the player that I might yell at. I'm not going to yell at a person that I know that can't handle it. I'm not going to do that. See, it's all, like you said, it's all about, like, coaching, it ain't just about yelling. It coaching, like you should never really yell, you know. Now, I'm not gonna say your players don't make you mad. Like sometimes you have to do that because you know you might be trying to tell him something right, and he want to tell you something wrong. But you know you trying to tell him something right, but he want to justify what he did wrong. So now you know what, you might start getting a little loud, or it might come a time. But to just go out there and just yell at a person, no, you know.
Man, it bothers me because I see it a lot.
I learned sometimes it's quicker to let it go in one ear and out the other ear than to just go back and forth with a coach or something. Okay. Like when my coaches pull me out the game and yell at me, okay, coach. You know what? It's funny. I used to grab the towel and run the towel on the side of there. He'd yell at me. Okay, get him out of there. Like, you know, I'll be back in the game in 20 seconds. What I'm going to yell? What I'm going to start talking to him?
Go back for him, make him even more mad.
I take the towel. And I hold it right on the side where he yelling at. And like people used to say, you don't pay coach no mind. No, not really. Not when he yelling. No.
It's funny. Remember you taught me to do that when my mom would be going off on me? Yeah. Like, yo, listen, just let it go. Yeah. Just let it go.
It's quicker. It's quicker than if you say something back, then it's more.
Because they the authority. You know, they going to have the last word. Yeah. They going to, like, even with my players, I'm like, the moment, you know, I try to tell them something, and they come back, because half the time they don't even make sense. It's like, dude, are you serious? So I pause, and I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, why did he even try this? Because he's not gonna win this battle. Because I always got the last word, like, you know.
You know, it's funny. You know, when we were down the beach the other week, you know, we talked with your mom, and your mom was saying, yeah, you always been like Kevin. You always been the more understanding one. And I said, you know what? Brianna says the same thing. I'm more understanding to her than your mom. And your mom was saying, and I said, you know what? That's the same thing Brianna just told me. You know, like I just always try to remember. I was a kid one day. I
remember I get in trouble. You know, and I was talking about this on Devin and Morgan's podcast. Yeah. Go check out the Don't Be Pressed podcast. But we were talking about kind of disciplining your kids, right? Right. And you know, I said they had to call Tina while she was at work. Oh, when I got home, I was getting it. It didn't matter what the circumstance. Basically, in her eyes, I did something to get that phone call. I played some role. Whereas with you, I felt like, so like with my mom, right? You trying to explain your story, but you know the belt coming, so you can't even explain your story because the whole time, but I was, and that's way before the belt even is in hand. You know it's coming, so you can't even think straight. Where I feel like with you, I could actually be like, yo, this is what happened. And then, like, I could actually go through chronological order, and you would actually hear me out. And then if I did something wrong, you would let me know.
You know, like the day Kiera did something, and Brianna,
you sure it was Kiera? You sure it wasn't?
Yeah. I took my time to say it this time. You know, and she was like, "What you gonna do, Dad? Like, what could I really do?"
Wait, Kiera did something.
Yeah.
And Bree asked you what you was gonna do?
Yeah. You know, the punish. Like, you know what? What do you want to do? Like, I mean, like, I don't think it was nothing for her to really be punished about. Like, it's over and done with. But you know, I don't know, Bree. I don't know. It's just like I ain't never beat Bree. You know, don't think that you ain't never do nothing.
And you got soft. Huh? You got soft with each girl you had. You got softer.
Yeah, well,
because I got beatings.
You got 2 beatings by me, and they 2 beatings.
Then you hit me with that verbal warfare. You used to make me cry, and then go tell me to cry by myself. Remember you did that at the Wild?
I do all of them. I still do them like that.
I still don't remember why I was crying that time. Remember I was crying on the bench for something, and then you told me to go in the locker room. And then Boo followed me in there, and he was like, "Oh, it's gonna be good." That helped me a lot, though.
Yeah, but you know what? That time then, even Frank and other people come and get on me, man. They came and get on me. Man. But like, no, if you want to cry, go ahead and cry. I don't want you crying around me. You can cry.
Yeah, I do that to.
But I know now.
To my little ones.
Now I know crying now it can be good. It cleans your soul, man. It cleans your soul.
A little bit of therapy, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely want to shout Eric and YA out, but I got one more Eric story. But I remember this was It's my freshman year, because, we had the blue practice uniforms. Freshman year, I was scrimmaging with varsity. And I don't remember, this probably was like in the middle of the season. So I had played in a few varsity games by this point, I think. But I was checking Eric, right? Nickname now is the Great White. But I was checking him a couple possessions, but then it was like the last possession of the scrimmage, or at least for like that quarter of it. Maybe about 10 seconds or something to go, and I locked him down one play. Like, he kept trying to make a move, and I was beating him to the spot. Mm-hmm. Part of it probably was the anxiety and nerves of just, being out there. I was like super fast, and beating him there. And I think either he didn't get the shot off or just had to hoist up something at the last second. And I remember my JV coach gave me the biggest behind slap ever. And I was like, yo, I guess I did something, Yeah. So that kind of helped me too. And then, that pushed me. So, one, I had to go against them when I had the ball. But also defensively, they were tough to guard, especially at that age before, I really began to develop physically. But I think that might be one of the moments that later on helped me to focus on becoming a good defender. And, I'd say I was super confident in my ability to defend. There was only one guard my senior year that I had trouble with. And for me, my advantage was always kind of speed and quickness. Mm-hmm. This dude was probably just as fast and quick as I was, but he was bigger and stronger. So now it kind of neutralized me, and I was at a little bit of a disadvantage. That's where, IQ got to come into play.
Yeah. Like I said, you know what? I can't think, even when I started out playing basketball, when I was young, mm-hmm. Coming up at the Y and stuff like that, every time you play against somebody that was good. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nobody. It was it's like coming up around when I came up, it wasn't nowhere that I really. Now, I'm not gonna say that I didn't play against no weak guards going somewhere else and playing somewhere, but like in the neighborhood, in the city of Philly, like really in the city, like that, anywhere you played, like I played against somebody that was good. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I didn't want them to show me up, so they made me play harder. They made me be better, cause like I said, the people I knew I was playing against, I already knew that. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, like you said, you better learn to play some defense, or else they gonna cook you, man. Mm-hmm. They gonna cook you. And you know what the worst thing was? It was some people sometimes in the schoolyard, they will cook you. I mean, like, you know what? Like I remember one guy in particular. He was just so like, I mean, he would kill you. Like, and like, you know what? Like sometimes you might be able to stop, but this guy shoots so good. He mm-hmm. shot so good. And if he get his shot off, and he gonna get it off.
Just going in. He's like Steph.
Yeah, he was something. But when it came to playing with a referee and stuff like that, it was his game wasn't like that.
Yeah, that happens to guys different playing.
So that was the only thing. Now he still could play, but like in a game with a ref out there, an organized game, I could handle him more. But in the schoolyard, oh no, man, I'd be saying, man, that's the kind of person you don't even want to let him get the ball. Mm-hmm. You don't even want him to get the ball, man, because of what he gonna do.
Yeah, schoolyard. It's also different too because like it's not a system. Like I'm kind of. Like, I can go out and definitely play pickup.
Yeah.
But I'm at a point where, one, I'm just probably picky about the guys that I have. Because I hate when I'm going out there and I got somebody that's just chucking up shots, and really hurting us. So, I say that just because, like, going to the playground, I know it's different. Because, like, for me, I want to know that the guys I got on my team, we all on the same page, right? It's like, so if I go with, like, Earl, Shaquan, they know I'm going to send my guy left. So they already know which way they need the shade to be on for help. Where sometimes, I go to playground. I was playing in that Sunday league earlier this summer. And remember I would play a guy and it'd be like no help there. And I'm just like, yo, I can't. First of all, y'all not even trying.
But see, you know what? That's come from people. Like I'm going to say that really don't play basketball.
Yeah.
Or not like that. Now, like, you know what? To some people that I played with, that's automatic. That's automatic. And certain players that I play with, that's automatic. That's the way that we play. Mm-hmm. That's the way that we play ball.
You know what time it is, right?
Yeah, I figured about that time. Oh, yeah.
About that time.
Yeah, about that time.
But yeah, so just in thinking about confidence, I think something we should do is always remind ourselves that it's kind of a journey, right? It's like a scale, and at any given point in time, something can shake our confidence a little bit, but it's possible to build it back up. And I think that once we kind of realize or accept the fact that there's going to be things that come our way in life that makes us insecure, right, about different things. But once we kind of realize that sometimes it's human nature to focus on the negatives that come with insecurities, let's try to change our mindset. Coach Dev used to always say life is about angles. So it's about the way we look at things. So if something's really bothering you, try to find a positive in it to reshape your thinking. And all the while, it's not always going to be easy, but you got to take steps to kind of build yourself up, right? Like invest in yourself. Like, I'm not saying it's ever going to be easy, especially depending on the magnitude of the insecurity you're dealing with. But just realize it's a journey. Take it one day at a time, right?
I just want to say one thing. You wouldn't know good if it wasn't something bad.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're not going to always have a good day, or not always going to have a bad day. You might have a moment, but you know what? That bad moment, find a way to turn that bad moment around quick, and don't dwell on that what's in that badness. Try to go find something positive, as you say, and that's my suggestion to help you get through, and you'll have less bad days and you'll have more good days.
And be patient.
Yeah.
Just work on yourself. And another thing that's not always easy is to love yourself. Say, this is me. Maybe I'm not the best version of who I am today, but you know what? I'm going to accept who I am today. I'm going to love who I am today. I'm going to support who I am today. And sometimes you need people on the outside helping you as well. But once you realize and say, hey, like for me, it was my patch, and I had some really bad days about it, especially when people would tease me and, kind of pull me down and shake my confidence in who I was. But then it's like, hey, now I embrace it. Like, I don't mind. Like, I used to, kind of didn't want people sitting directly behind me. I didn't really want to walk in lines. I wanted to be at the back. I wanted to have one of my friends behind me. But, best thing that happened was when I got to the point, be like, yo, this is me. Then I think one time my cousin was like, yo, it's actually pretty cool. It looked like a little moon shape, So it was just different things along the way. But it took me years to get to that point. Probably well into high school. Because even in high school, it felt I was in a new environment. So it's like, oh, what are these people going to think of me? They don't know me. But there were other great qualities about me. And I think that's something that a lot of people, no matter what you're dealing with, if you're dealing with weight, just appearance, like some people, it's acne.
Right.
Just think about the great things about you, because we're all great, special people. Especially, usually, we're kind people at heart. So that's just something I wanted to kind of, bring up, talk about a little bit. So people, love yourself, realize confidence, a little bit of a journey, Sometimes you get knocked back, but you can always keep moving forward, just like in anything in life. Keep moving forward. You want to take us out of here? Last week I was like, yo, you want to open it up? You want to take us out of here?
Well, I can take us out of here. I can say, man, like, you know what? Just grab somebody else and turn them on to our podcast and stuff, and tell them to tune in. And, just give it to one person. Everybody, give it to one person.
Yeah, so definitely, y'all, like you said, share our pages, share our podcast, send somebody an episode. If you listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, go up and hit the little share icon and just text it to a friend. They open it, let them listen, tell them how much you like it. If you're on YouTube, copy and paste that link into a text message, or hit share, copy it to your Facebook. You can even do a screen record, put us on your Instagram, do what you gotta do. Just make sure you tag us at NoStoppingKev Show or at NoStoppingKev. Tag both, actually. The more people that follow us, the more likely you are to share some things. More likely we can get the word to more people. But also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those subscribes, likes, comments, shares reviews, 5-star reviews. They're very important to helping us be successful and accomplish what we're setting out to do here. So we're going to see y'all again next Sunday. You know, our videos go live. You know what time our videos go live?
What you say, 1 a.m.?
I mean, I could, but I do 6:30. You know,
6:30?
Something like just so when you wake up, it's there. Unless somebody needed to come out a little bit early, I can do that. You can make it happen. But yeah, so we're going to see y'all again next week. We love y'all. We out of here. You know, go ahead. You was about to say something.
No, I just want to say, oh, you know what, Dupree, one of my oldest friends, I want to give a shout out to you because you are one of my true friends who hit me up all the time, and I want to thank you for always tuning into our show.
Oh, man. And Dupree, share our show.
Well, he's been sharing it because he done turned a couple people on.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dupree. Everybody be more like Dupree and share our show.
Yeah.
All right, we out of here. Peace.
Peace. Love y'all.